All right, pause this. How in the heck? I'm going to show you. First of all, this is the start to my round, okay? How in the heck does my putt drop 10 feet out of the air, it seems like, in the amount of 20 feet in this rager of a headwind? Look at this. Look at it. Are you kidding me? Look at, there's the door. There you go.
That's a headwind putt. It stayed lifted.
Well, folks, once again, it is time to reach back in to the JomezPro vault. A couple weeks ago, we had a man by the name of Paul Ulibarri come on and was so gracious to just relive just an awful, I'm sorry, but I have to use the word awful round on camera. It ended up being one of our first videos back from 2013 at Texas State's. And, well, we had to have him back on because he needs to come back and find another video in our vault where things just, he needs redemption. He needs redemption in the JomezPro vault. So without further ado, let's get Mr. Paul Ulibarri on there with us. What's up, Paul?
What's up, guys? First of all, that was the funniest clip I have ever seen in my life. I was tearing up. I'm not even lying when this wobbly feet. I swear. I was like, oh, I cannot even believe that. Who builds a boat tee pad?
And the thing, it looked like really nice too for a floating tee. Like they put some money into that, and then all that happens is just people falling in the water. Like,
did you see the? There was a T sign on the. Like, there was a T sign at the front of the tee box, so clearly they didn't have the right mindset entirely. Like,
the other thing too is like,
was okay, but
imagine you went to all this trouble to build this floating tee. There's ground 1 foot over from there. That's just the same. It's exact same shot. So you're not. It's not like it's floating out in the middle of the water and it's some new shot. It's right next to you is some ground. So you didn't even really get a new line. All you did was make a wiggly tee.
You could snap that line and then just push your competitor out there.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Sorry, bud.
I mean, honestly, how much cheaper is that setup than, say, hole 18 at Winthrop Gold? I mean, you just like put some posts down in the water, man. Like just whatever the lumber costs. Honestly, this because it seems like making a floating tee pad is not cheap. Like that.
No, you wouldn't think.
Yeah, so I just don't understand the poor guy.
Oh, and shout out to Jomez for buying me this mic, just like they bought Sexton. I appreciate it, guys.
Man.
Sorry, Jerm.
That thing looks like it's $1 million. What is going on right now?
You guys are all full of it. See, this mic here is just a little cheapo. There's not much to it. It doesn't have the shock of
because you couldn't afford a better one after you bought these guys. They're $1 million microphones.
Yeah. Look at this thing. It's like a little moon lander.
Oh,
a little Sputnik.
A moon lander. That could land on that tee, no problem.
Oh yeah, it'd be like little feathers.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paul, for coming on. Like we said, everyone seemed to have had a really great reaction to that video, except for you. But you were a good sport about it. So of course we wanted to bring you back on, and let's just hope for better times as we look back on the 2014 Texas State's Disc Golf Championships, the final round. You remember this round? Now that you know what we're about to get into.
I told you last time not to talk about
Texas
States.
This guy has a death wish.
The vault, I can't help that the vault from 2012, 2013, 2014, even into 2015 is mostly Texas events. And you happen to be there. I mean, what do you want me to do? You're the one that put yourself on that card. You know that, right? Like, we showed up.
Hey.
It's not my fault I make lead cards. It's
making lead cards.
Yeah, once you're on the card, that's not up to us what happens.
It's only your fault that you make lead cards. You are 100% responsible for that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's true.
But you're also responsible for what comes after.
And speaking of, let's see.
Deep breath.
We're looking at a good battle so far. Kind of got the show down. Yeah, I just came right out and said Big Sexy Commentary. That's what we'll call it. Gosh, windy in the vault.
It is so. This was one of the windiest tournaments I've ever played from start to finish. Wysocki, obviously, with a 6-stroke lead. The first round he shot was 11-11, and he's sitting at 111 strokes right there. Paul, you want to give him a little background about your first round and how good you felt about it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been 2 times ever in my career where I came off the course and I told myself, there's no possible way anybody beat me today. There was just, I couldn't have found any other strokes. And not only did I not have the hot round, Ricky beat me by 6 shots, I think.
Yeah, you shot
in that round.
He shot a 55.
Yep. I'll never forget it. Yep.
What was the other time?
It was in, where was it? It was at the Rumble, and I shot a really good round. I think I shot a 49 or something in pretty wet conditions at Circle 2, I think is what it's called or something. And Paul shot a 48. So
Camden 2, maybe?
Camden 2. There you go. Yep.
So we got Simon Lizotte back in his still in his Paramore days, still looking a little emo.
Yeah.
Look at that tailwind. That shot was so good and would have curled up under the basket any less wind, but that thing just pushed it another 40 feet. Oh my gosh.
The good thing though is to remember, these guys are professionals. We're not going to see any weird floaty putts. It's just going to be business as usual around the green. That's my prediction.
Yeah, right, buddy.
This was one of the windiest rounds I've ever played, ever.
It has that look.
Oh, it was, yeah.
The big tailwind here. Paul over the top. Actually, that's fortunate to catch those top nubs, because if that had skipped long, he would have had a 20-foot comebacker, and that is no guarantee. I mean, you can see this.
Pause this. How in the heck? I'm going to show you. First of all, this is the start to my round, okay? How in the heck does my putt drop 10 feet out of the air, it seems like, in the amount of 20 feet in this rager of a headwind? Look at this. Look at it. Are you kidding me? Look at, there's the door. There you go.
That's a headwind putt. It stayed lifted. This is the comeback putt you don't want, and that's the best catch a Mach 3 has ever made that I've ever seen. That was so far right. That's a good par for Rick.
So after one hole, I'm already like, really? This is what it's going to be like today? Headwind dropper?
You're still within 9 strokes, and it's super windy, so, I mean, everyone's really still in the mix. I mean, I remember this hole being really tough, but there was a big right to left now, so that's pretty scary. That's just sick.
Parked.
I used to rock this jacket all the time. I used to have a good thing going on with that purple checkered jacket, Paul. I just want to let you know that.
No, I think I still have it somewhere.
What
headwind, no lift. What do you know?
By the way, that is a nasty tailwind putt from Rick. That American flag is barely even duct taped to the top of the basket there. It's just trying to rip into the creek. And from 40 feet, just staring down the downhill tailwind like that. That's crazy. You've been screwing up star frames going all the way back to
2014.
Yeah.
Or 2013, sorry. Oh. Man, it's crazy. I remember this round, too. We had a huge gallery. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, that's about as big a gallery as you're going to see in Texas when there's that much wind. It's just so cold. But, I mean, really, at this time, like, this is as big of an all-star card as you're really going to gather.
Absolutely. Oh, my gosh.
Good skip. It was a good skip.
Great break. Fantastic.
Oh, no. That is.
You anti-skipped so bad you didn't lose your disc, at least, all the way over the creek.
Yep. Oh, I finally lifted. Oh, good one. Good stick.
Why are we doing
this? These things. Why are we doing this to you? You're a good person. You should.
This happened. This actually happened. It's nothing. You can't live in denial.
Oh no.
It's all right. I'm still in the mix.
Yeah, you're still hunting.
Like the trail mix. I don't know, man.
That's
Ricky
a nice shot.
That is a nice shot. It's worth repeating that Ricky was just damn near unbeatable in Texas in the wind at this time. It just was so crazy how well he played out here. And look at you, McBeth there with a big flex with a Nova up the hill, like 350 feet. Ugh. Yeesh.
I think I had like an insane streak of like from this point on no birdies the rest of the round.
Oh,
Have
boy.
you
Oh no, I might have got maybe one more. I remember this hole too. I think I take one of the worst breaks ever. I can't remember what happens, but
Oh, Simon has still missed
Whoa.
that disc 6 years later. No hole, not
there's
that
one. Oh yeah, there's one tree you have to miss here. You just miss one tree and you got the eagle bid putt.
That's a big drive. That looks good.
Yep, no. How about land 6 feet short of safe, re-tee?
Oh.
All right, and then I remember this one gets caught up too. Really good shot, coming back, no problem. One branch, you're done.
Oh, PU.
Got stinky a little bit.
Do you ever think about your initials being PU when you have a hole that is going like this one?
Does lay it up.
Not
Wow.
exactly.
All right.
Bangs this for sure.
Oh,
Oh.
I got one more attempt.
I'm not going to lie. Seeing you struggle is no longer funny. Right now, I'm actually in a dark place watching this.
What number was that we just saw?
I don't remember. It was I think a 7 maybe.
That's a Texas snowman, my friend. You just
Ooh.
collected the ingredients in an area that's never seen snow in Texas in March, and you created a snowman out of it.
Now here's something to think about though. What I'm doing isn't like a rare thing in Texas in this wind. This is tough
Oh.
conditions.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
absolutely.
It's just for some reason these guys this round, I think they all just absolutely shredded it. Like look at this. Are you kidding?
What the? Are you kidding me? How the you? I'm sorry. We're gonna have to go backwards a little bit because that flag is completely sideways, and McBeth just ripped in 50 feet, just super soft putt.
Yes.
Oh, wait, did I do this? Okay, yeah, here we go.
Wow.
Okay, maybe not 60 feet. That's just a good, clean 49-footer. But, that disc came out of his hand at perfect chain height and didn't drop an inch in a headwind.
There's
That
usually
one-
from half the distance.
Oh,
To give you guys a nice perspective after this.
Yeah. Here's a great player from half as far.
So this next hole actually back then, this was before the stroke and distance rule. Like you could actually unload your bag on this. People were taking 20s.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Did you play this one, Germ?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people would take like a 20 on this hole today in this particular round.
Was it this hole or was it a different? Oh, it was this one.
It was an island hole. Is this not it? Oh no, you're right. This is
Yeah,
later on in the round.
It looked like your arm maybe broke halfway on up. It looked like it just kind of limply stopped. Like it just didn't have the capability of raising above your waist. What happened?
This is it. This is
Yeah.
isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
it.
it is.
This
Um,
Whoa.
there were multiple people in the field I remember taking like 20s on this hole.
This was a really, really scary hole, especially with that wind and those low, those low ceiling branches were just so tough. The Texas mesquite trees, you can't account for all the limbs on the backside of the tree, which makes the approach so difficult. That's a great recovery shot. Honestly, not a bad score.
No, that year I remember 4 was like way better than usually for like a shorter hole like that, obviously.
Yeah.
It's honestly, that's a pretty legit shot shank redemption. That's pretty perfectly done.
Oh gosh.
Nate, you are a savage, my friend. What did you just have your whole DVD collection in front of you?
Hey, you know.
That's a bit of a rip.
Wow.
Oh my
Sit
gosh.
though.
That was a sick shot.
6% chance here.
Yeah. I mean, when it's when it's raining, it's pouring in the wind. If your putt is a little bit off, you have no confidence to spin it in there and combat the wind with any sort of offensive attack. I mean, it's just
that's not fair. If you put literally anybody else in the field besides Ricky and Paul, and maybe Simon, nobody's really making that putt.
No,
like
no one.
windy.
I wasn't.
No,
I'm not trying to say 6%
it's not an
is
attack
enough.
on you. I'm just saying. Yeah, sure. It's just if you haven't had a chance to find your putt because every putt you have is 25 feet and it's ripping wind, how can you gain your confidence?
I remember going into this round thinking like, oh, it's time to like shred. I remember like my putt felt good, everything was like nice, and then it was just like.
Were you kind of thinking like, it's 2014 now, 2013 Texas States is way back in the past. That's history. It's not happening again.
Yeah,
Texas.
say, yeah.
Texas won the battle. Like in 2015, I go back and no spoilers, but I didn't go back till 2018.
Wow.
After 15, I told myself I would never go back to Texas to play any of the tournaments unless it was a national tour or pro tour, because I would leave Texas with no confidence.
Yeah.
And that was a real thing. I'm not lying. Like I just didn't go. I skipped the whole tour.
Which is so crazy because you did so well to get to this point. And, the last round, Paul Ulibarri, Pinata, Texas is holding the baseball bat and you're just getting pummeled, my friend.
But I remember thinking like I would have to change my stroke mid tournament, because you can't putt your regular putt. You have to change your stroke. And then all of a sudden I'm going into other tournaments with like no confidence. But it started earlier than even this. My first ever bad experience on tour was 2006. We went, or maybe it was 2007. I played the Texas State Championships, and there was like, it flooded. It was the craziest flood ever, a crazy storm, and Tom Bass Park was so flooded that there were literally bass swimming around the fairways. That's not a lie. And there were these ant colonies that all got uprooted from their colonies, and they would get in a ball, the fire ants, and if you were walking, anything that they could attach to, they would attach to you. So there were people having to drop out of the tournament because these ants attacked them walking down the fairway because there was so much water everywhere.
Sounds nice.
You were always you found ant bombs, and you got toasted by a tick bomb down there in Florida one time. You were always finding these clusters of bugs.
The tick bomb was nothing compared to what Texas brings, as you can see.
True or false? The tick bomb exploded on your clothing as soon as your round was over. You went to the locker room that was at the course in Jacksonville and removed all your clothing and threw it away. Is that true?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You didn't burn it, right? You just threw it away in the trash.
Just tossed it, yeah. I should have burnt it, but I don't think I had a fireplace. If I did, I probably would have. Yeah, no. So Texas, though, has just not been. It wasn't very friendly to me. In my career, I have more second places in Texas than any other place. It was the last place where I would go play because the tour always went through Texas. It always did. Like if you were on tour, you played Memorial and then you went to Texas. And
would you rather get second place or fifth place?
Second.
You gotta get second.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people might not say that. Some people actually hate second more than they hate all the other places besides first or nothing. But I don't know. That's maybe a stupid question. I don't know.
No, I've heard that before too, and I'm like, all right, I'll take second. You can take fifth. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a silly way of thinking about it, in my opinion.
I agree.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've been more mad with a second place finish than a fifth place finish as far as emotionally. But
for sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, you would rather take second at the World Championships than fifth.
What about you, Jonathan?
So the thing about when we show up to tournaments, that we know we're going to get first place no matter what by the end of it. So
Ooh,
no, I'm
shots
just
fired.
kidding. But honestly, I've had these conversations with players before. Like, I don't know that I could handle the pressure of being like showing up to a tournament and not knowing like if a week's worth of practice, like what it amounts to as my job. And I'm just like, that's just because I'm not a professional athlete. So I don't know what that mindset's like. So you guys are like on another level where you can play through that and have like that pressure and still be able to perform. Whereas we're just there to do our job and hold a camera and hopefully maybe get an ace. But we know that the players are going to play it out of their minds. Somebody's going to win and we're going to be able to broadcast it. So definitely props to all you guys. Cause I don't know. You guys are just.
Would you rather film the second card or the fifth card?
Well, there you go. See, that's what you should have said. That's what you should have said, because everyone knows the answer to that. So, but thank you, Uli, for coming on. And
oh boy, it's gonna be better next time. Buddy.
It'll be better next time. We're definitely gonna have you
yes.
on. It'll be better. Thank you for talking us through that. Honestly, as crazy and hard to watch as those rounds are, I personally love hearing your insight on all of this, because a lot of players would probably just be like, heck no, I'm not reliving that, screw you, like pick something else, or I'm busy or whatever. But you're just like, it's different being able to see somebody go through that and be able to get in their head and be like, what was going through your head through all of that. And like even now looking back and just the perspective on, because it's times like that certainly help shape you as a player, because you really have to learn to keep playing through those times to bounce back and
sure.
know how to go from one round to the next, so
even watching that now, I found myself like thinking, man, I would love to take my game now and put it in those times to see how I would shave strokes or different things, because I do feel like over time Texas is just a different animal when it comes to golf in general. I mean, the terrain's different, the winds, it's like a heavy air about it, to where like your discs kind of just fly a little bit different than other places. And then when you get the strong winds, it's really dry. Like, it's just a different experience altogether. And it definitely has made me a better player for sure playing in Texas, but I definitely needed a break after 2015, I think.
Well, once again, we really appreciate you being a good sport and getting us through that, to relive that moment from 2014 through the JomezPro Vault. We certainly will have you on again, and like Jerm said, it'll be better next time.
Please.
So in the
Good to see you,
meantime,
man.
thank you for joining
good
us.
to see you guys
Be
too.
sure to take care of yourself, and
I will.
we'll see you soon.
All right, guys, enjoy.